Most people open Gemini, type a simple question, get a quick answer, and then close the tab. And if that's how you're using Gemini, you're barely scratching the surface, because Gemini 3.0 Pro is not just a chatbot. It's not just for writing text or answering questions. It's a research assistant, a content creator, a decision-making engine, and for many people, a complete productivity system. Over the last few weeks, I stopped using Gemini casually and started using it the way professionals use tools, to solve real problems. In this video, I'll show you 10 real examples, arranged in a way that keeps things interesting without overwhelming you. No hype, no confusion, just practical use cases you can apply immediately. Let's start with something visual, because this is where most people suddenly realize, wait, Gemini can do that? Text to studio quality visual. Imagine you need a clean professional image for a blog, presentation, or social media post. Instead of searching stock websites, I type, create a realistic modern home office with a standing desk, dual monitors, soft natural lighting, and a minimal aesthetic. In seconds, Gemini generates a high-quality image that looks like it came from a professional photo shoot. No stock subscriptions, no designer, no extra tools. This instantly shows one thing. Gemini isn't just answering questions, it's creating usable assets. Long PDFs to simple insights. Now, let's be practical. You receive a 20-page PDF, research, documentation, or report, and you don't have time to read it. Upload the PDF and ask, summarize the key points, highlight action items, and explain everything in simple language. Gemini scans the entire document and delivers a clear, structured breakdown. For students, freelancers, and professionals, this alone can save hours every week. Static image to cinematic motion. Here's something most users don't even realize exists. Upload a single image and say, animate this image into an 8-second looping video. Subtle motion, cinematic feel. Gemini transforms a static image into a smooth, professional animation, perfect for websites, ads, or video intros. It feels less like using AI and more like working with a creative studio. Competitor video analysis. Let's say your competitor uploaded a 30-minute YouTube demo. Instead of watching the full video, paste the link and ask, extract all features mentioned, organize them by category, and include timestamps. Gemini watches the entire video for you and returns a structured breakdown. This is incredibly powerful for marketers, founders, and creators. Messy notes to clean data. Take a photo of handwritten notes, a receipt, or a blurry document. Upload it and ask, convert this into a clean, structured table. Gemini reads messy handwriting and unclear text and organizes everything perfectly. It feels like magic, but it's pure efficiency. Smarter decisions with thinking mode. Gemini 3.0 Pro includes a thinking mode designed for complex problems. For example, ask, compare 3 strategies based on cost, ROI, and long-term impact. Instead of a generic answer, Gemini breaks the problem into steps, evaluates trade-offs, and explains its reasoning clearly. This is where Gemini stops being a chatbot and starts acting like a strategic partner. Your mini virtual assistant. You can tell Gemini, draft 3 professional emails, summarize my calendar, and prepare reminders for today. With Workspace integration, Gemini connects to Gmail, Calendar, and Drive. Suddenly, it feels like you hired a virtual assistant without paying one. Content creation doesn't have to be slow. Ask Gemini. Find trending articles on this topic, summarize them, and format everything as a newsletter. In under a minute, you have polished, ready-to-send content. This is a massive time saver for creators and businesses. Write a short script and paste it into Google AI Studio. Gemini converts it into natural, human-like narration.
Find trending articles on this topic, summarize them, and format everything as a newsletter.
No robotic tone, no complicated setup. Perfect for videos, courses, and tutorials. Massive context, zero confusion. Gemini supports an extremely large context window. You can upload hundreds of pages, meeting notes, reports, or contracts, and ask, "Find all mentions of budget issues and summarize them by date." Gemini remembers everything and delivers clean, structured insights. For anyone dealing with information overload, this is a game changer. If this video helped you see Gemini differently, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's still using AI like a basic chatbot. And if you want more deep, practical breakdowns like this, stay with me. Now, before we wrap up, let me share a few bonus tips that most people completely overlook. Most people open Gemini only when they need a quick answer. They ask one question, get one response, and then move on. That's the biggest mistake you can make, because Gemini is not designed to be used like Google Search. It's designed to be used like a system, a set of connected steps that work together. Let me show you what that actually means with real examples. Example 1. Research, summary, content. Let's say you want to create content about a trending topic. Instead of doing everything manually, you open Gemini and start with research. You ask it to find the most relevant and recent information on that topic. Once the research is done, you don't leave the conversation. You simply say, "Summarize this research into key points and insights." Now you still don't start over. You continue in the same thread and say, "Turn this summary into a blog post, a YouTube script, or a newsletter." At this point, Gemini already understands the context, the topic, and your goal. You didn't repeat yourself, you didn't re-explain anything, you just moved step by step through a complete workflow. That's using Gemini as a system, not a one-time tool. Example 2. Idea, script, voice, visual. Now let's look at a creator workflow. You start with a simple idea, like a YouTube video topic. You tell Gemini, "Create a clear video outline for this idea." Once the outline is ready, you say, "Write a full script based on this outline in a natural, conversational tone." When the script is done, you move to the next step and say, "Turn this script into professional narration." And finally, you ask, "Create matching visuals or image prompts for each section." Without opening 5 different tools, without copying and pasting back and forth, you've just gone from idea to finished content inside one system. That's the real power most people never use. Why this changes everything. When you use Gemini like this, you stop working in pieces. You start working in flows. Each step builds on the previous one. Gemini remembers what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what the final goal is. That's when productivity multiplies, not because Gemini is faster, but because you've removed friction from the process. Once you understand this, you'll never open Gemini just to ask random questions again. Bonus tip 2. Always ask for structure. One of the biggest mistakes people make with Gemini is asking vague, open-ended questions. When your prompt has no structure, the output won't have any structure either. For example, if you simply say, "Explain SEO," Gemini will give you a long paragraph. It might be accurate, but it's hard to scan, hard to remember, and even harder to apply. Now watch what happens when you add structure. Instead of saying, "Explain SEO," you say, "Explain SEO in 5 clear steps for a beginner." Suddenly the output changes completely. You get step 1, step 2, step 3, each focused, simple, and actionable. Here's another example. If you say, "Summarize this article," you'll get a generic summary. But if you say, "Summarize this article in bullet points, highlight key takeaways, and list one action I should take after reading it," the response becomes 10 times more useful. You're not just getting information, you're getting direction. Let's take one more example. Instead of saying, "Help me launch a YouTube channel," try this. Create a step-by-step checklist to launch a YouTube channel, including niche selection, content planning, and first upload. Now you get a clear checklist that you can actually follow and execute. This is the real mindset shift. Gemini works best when you tell it how to think, not just what to explain. Gemini isn't limited, it isn't confusing, and it definitely isn't just another chatbot. Most people never see its real power because they never change how they use it. Once you stop using Gemini casually and start using it intentionally as a researcher, a creator, and a productivity partner, everything changes. The advantage isn't access. Everyone has access. The advantage is how you use it. And now, you know.